Thanks for joining us. You're watching Arirang Newsbreak, live from Seoul. I'm Han Daeun. We begin on the political front. The ruling Saenuri Party kicked off its national convention about an hour ago in southern Seoul, where it will select a new leader who many hope will be able to successfully steer the party through the challenges it faces today. The convention got underway at Jamsil Indoor Stadium at around 2 p.m. this afternoon, with some 10,000 delegates and party members in attendance. President Park Geun-hye just finished giving her opening remarks, in which she called for unity and an end to the divisions within the party. Opening remarks were also delivered by the party's interim leader Kim Hee-ok and floor leader Chung Jin-seok. The candidates are currently giving campaign speeches. At today's convention, party members will vote on 6 leadership posts: the party leader and all 4 members of the Supreme Council, which is the party's main decision-making body. And for the first time ever, they will also elect one Supreme Council member representing the younger generation, with only those under the age of 45 being eligible for the position. Now, 3 of the candidates for party leader are all considered strong contenders for the position. Former Presidential Secretary Lee Jung-hyun, former Maritime Minister and 5-term lawmaker Lee Ju-young, and 4-term lawmaker Chu Ho-young, who represents the non-Park Geun-hye faction. Voting among the roughly 9,000 delegates gathered here at the stadium there in Jamsil will start at about 4:40 p.m. Korea time. Their votes will be added to the votes already cast by nearly 70,000 and other eligible voters at 252 polling stations around the country on Sunday. The results could come out as early as 7 p.m. this evening. It appears to be becoming more difficult for North Koreans to defect through China, as Pyongyang and Beijing are reportedly cooperating to send defectors back to the north. According to Daily NK, a Seoul-based online newspaper that focuses on North Korea issues, a source in the North's Hamgyeongbuk-do province says government surveillance and inspections at the Tumun River, which borders North Korea and China, have been strengthened, and local residents are being encouraged to turn defectors in. The source says these actions have lowered the success rate for potential defectors, adding that 2 women in their 30s were arrested early this month after a local resident reported on them. The 2 women were immediately handed over to the north. Seoul's foreign ministry says it cannot confirm the matter for diplomatic and security reasons. South Korea's ambassador to China has notified the Chinese government on Seoul's position regarding the deployment of the U.S. anti-missile system THAAD to the south. It's the first time South Korea has made its stance official to Beijing since the decision was announced last month. Kwon So-ah has more.
South Korea's top diplomat in Beijing met with China's special representative for the Korean Peninsula on Monday to clarify Seoul's stance on the deployment of THAAD to South Korea. This marks the first time the South Korean government has delivered its position to China through an official diplomatic channel since the deployment was confirmed last month. Ambassador Kim Jang-soo and Woo Da-wei reportedly also exchanged views on North Korea's recent missile provocations. China seemed to be reluctant to punish the North for the tests due to its opposition to the THAAD deployment. China says it will undermine regional stability and the country's security interests. Ambassador Kim's move is being seen as a more active approach by the South Korean government to deal with China's intensifying criticism rather than its earlier defensive mode. It also appears to be a shift away from parliamentary diplomacy, which is an approach 6 main opposition Minju Party of Korea lawmakers have opted for as they traveled to Beijing this week. In an indication of the government's disapproval, a planned meeting between Ambassador Kim and the lawmakers was abruptly called off. Kwon So-ah, Arirang News.
And now let's turn to the latest updates from Rio Olympics. It seems Monday wasn't very kind to Team Korea as the nation saw a string of disappointments from projected medalists in a number of different fields. Yoon-shin has a wrap-up of Monday's action.
For Team Korea, Day 3 of the Rio Olympics could go down as a day to forget. After witnessing some unexpected losses earlier in the day, the nation was holding out hope for swimmer Kim So-young. While Kim has performed well in Rio so far, she finished 6th in the women's 200-meter individual medley, which means she failed to make the cut for the finals. The biggest upset of the day, however, came when the top-ranked archer Kim Woo-jin crashed out in the second round of the men's individual event, 6-2. Despite setting a world record in the ranking round and snagging an impressive gold in the men's team event, Kim's competitive action in Brazil also ends here. Competing in the 73-kilogram category, world number 1 An Chang-nim lost to his Belgian opponent by half a point in the round of 16. And in the women's 57-kilogram class, another gold medal favorite, Kim Jan-di, suffered a defeat to a tough rival from Brazil. The high point of the day came when 2012 Olympic champion archer Ki Bo-bae cruised past her Kenyan and Ukrainian opponents in the rounds of 64 and 32. Although some questions remain over whether Team Korea can finish in the top 10 of the medal rankings, the nation still has high hopes for all the remaining athletes. Yun-shin, Arirang News.
Now let's get a quick glimpse at the Rio Olympics medal table and some of the upcoming events you don't want to miss out on this Tuesday. And that is Arirang Newsbreak for today. Stay tuned for more global and domestic news updates throughout the day. Thank you for watching.